Hey everyone, and welcome back to another chart planning update video. I'm going to be going over Bitcoin and Solana primarily. I was going to do another portfolio update, but instead I'll show you guys a quick, on my phone really quick what it looks like and what my intentions are because I made a big change, and I'll go into that into more detail in a future video. I'm not making much videos just because I'm going out a lot. I'm going out to clubs a lot, partying. I'm not at home. I'm still traveling. I'm still in Florida, so I'll keep you guys updated on that as well. But to get started, right, it's very important to understand that today's massive dip that started yesterday after the Federal Reserve rate cut, 2025 being less, or like I should say super hawkish, at least that's what the word is, right? Less interest rate cuts than planned and whatnot. All that's probably going to change. Who knows, right? Who knows? It's not something to worry about, especially if you understand that Bitcoin primarily, even though we're going to talk about Solana, I'll go over Mara and MSTR as well. But just looking at Bitcoin alone, it doesn't matter what the interest rates are, how much they plan to cut. None of this matters. This is a short-term fear in a market that's not being valued the way it should. You have continued institutional adoption of this asset or currency, and then of course, the supply is not going anywhere. It is still maxed out at 21 million, and it's just the whole purpose of Bitcoin. It's ridiculous to think that these rate cuts affect truly what the value of this is. In fact, you should be happy that we have a massive discount. We were up 108,000. Next thing you know, we're down a ton. Briefly into the 95,000s, and we're still down here. So it's just towards the end of this video, I'm gonna show you guys the position I'm taking, what I'm doing with that core Bitcoin position, and then again in a future video soon, a more detailed look into that. But with Bitcoin, right? So forget about all this stuff back here. I usually don't delete, as you can see, all the way back here, all the way. We can continue going back. I don't delete really my notes unless they get way too like cramped in here. But basically, what we're looking at right now is quite simply major support, what imbalances are RSI, and then what the overall trend looks like, right? So we have a simple moving average 120. That's just what I use to keep it simple. I don't need to overcomplicate my charts. It's a good support. Every time it dips below and it actually breaks below that moving average, which it's blue. Maybe if I change the color later, it'll probably be easier to look at. But it every time it breaks below that, really strong buying opportunity, also represented in the RSI. This time around, a lot more aggressive. Just amazing in my opinion, right? So we're down a decent amount below the moving average. The RSI is very much oversold, and actually we don't see this much that often. A lot of time it gets near it, but never touches this. Sometimes it gets near it, but not as close as these. Other times it does dip below it quite well, but many times it pretty much just gets near it. This time around, we are making like contact with that 30 on the RSI, and that's really good. Especially leading into New Year's, like that Santa rally everyone talks about. Like it's December 19th right now. Amazing, right? And then on top of that, major supports, right? So back here, early, just before mid-November, we created this resistance. We ended up breaking above it. Let me pull it a little bit more this way. We ended up breaking above it. And then every time we get near it, we tend to reverse or even flirt with it a little bit. And right now we're doing the same thing, indicating we can still go down a little bit more. But regardless, if you're trying to max out your lowest average price right now, it doesn't matter. The price right now, mid 97 or even mid 93, like who cares? Who cares if you're looking to buy this and hold on to it for the next 2 weeks, or even like trying to trade this going into New Year's. In January, we could see a very big dip in January. We haven't seen like those 30% dips in a while, and now that we're going to enter this euphoria stage in 2025, this is where these aggressive dips are going to happen. So we can possibly see a very quick recovery, retest all-time highs again, right before New Year's, basically, like as we near it, in my opinion, and then come down in January, see a big dip before we continue going up higher throughout 2025. And of course, that's all just my opinion. Everything in this video is just my opinion. It's not financial advice. This is just me expressing my approach. So really, to keep it simple, because I'm not trying to overcomplicate this, a lot of these imbalances, and then right here, these imbalances are a lot more easier to look at on a different time frame. I'm just gonna leave that at 4 hours. I really don't care. But we filled this in quite well. We haven't even broken down below this. Regardless, it doesn't matter. This is the solid support we're looking at down here. And then on top of that, right, first small bump up, right, broke through this quite well, indicating really strong support, right, or like just really strong like discounted levels. If you're trying to look at a price higher, if you jump from here to here, back down to here, flirted that with that quite well, indicating, so not surprised we fell from there. But then the movement continues, right? You can even look at the last major price action back here within this trend right here. We still broke into it quite well. So perfect timing. It's such a coincidence when these assets just somehow do what they do in the perfect time. Like, oh, it was oversold when Federal Reserve gave hawkish news. What a coincidence that happened, basically. Well, either way, we're coming down, broke past this, really, really solid. We can still see a little bit lower prices, but I just really don't care. Before we jump into Solana and some other assets, basically, quick summary, the portfolio, the core Bitcoin portfolio I go over. I sold everything. I ended up taking out, I think after fees, it was like 110,000 at least. What I ended up doing is I kept 5,000 for myself for fun. I'm not worried about taxes. All that's going to be taken care of. I have money set aside for that. It's fine. 110,000. I put that in. So I took out 5,000 for myself. I put 105,000 into a different brokerage, and then I'm gonna show you guys right now. So I'm just trying to put away some of the sensitive information on this account, making sure there's nothing on here I don't want you guys to see. So right now, since I've been buying and the price of Bitcoin kept falling into BITU, so all of my Bitcoin holdings, the 100,000 plus dollars, I put that into BITU. Right now it's worth 99,896. It is market close. I don't have it all invested. I have roughly 45,000 invested. They're taking a while to settle these funds. They're like every day they're giving me a little bit by little. So what I'm doing is every time they give me a little bit of that, I'm averaging in. I still have basically at least 50,000. 50 to 60,000 I still haven't invested yet, but every day they're just giving me a little bit of it. That's just how they do it. They told me that by January 8th it all should be available. So every little bit I'm just averaging it into BITU, and I have a good amount in there. And if we continue to see this price hold into tomorrow, Friday, I can continue to add at lower prices. So I'm not concerned because I'm just very happy. They're basically forcing me to average in a lot of these, all this cash, right? So it's like, to me, that's perfect. And then 5,000 I kept it to go have fun with and do whatever. I'm going to another club tomorrow, and they still have complimentary bar, so I'm excited for that. 2.47% right now into December. Again, we'll see what the last basically 2 weeks of this. 2 weeks? It's like a week and a half. With this week and a half left looks like, we're gonna see. I'm expecting a quick recovery, and then maybe we'll see that first major dip in January as we see those massive fluctuations into the crazy euphoria stage, pushing Bitcoin higher. Let me refresh this before we jump into the other assets. So we're starting to see a little bit more upward momentum, a little bit more pressure pushing up higher, although there's not enough. I'm just going to focus on USDT, Binance with Bitcoin. It's just, I'm not going to fluctuate through all of these. It really doesn't matter. These change constantly. But like, I'm not seeing anything to be concerned about. I'm not seeing anything to be concerned about whatsoever, really. Looks like the bottom is near. If it's not in, it's absolutely near. But there's not too much crazy like indications that the price is going to go up from here. Look at that. It just changed from there a little bit. This one's still the same. There's no strong indication either side, but just from purely price level perspective, yeah, like it would be silly for anyone to be feared out of this as such a good price right now, leading, portion of this rally that we're in. There's not really a whole lot of like crazy news, like 21 million supply limit a lie ? It's in the code. Like anyone that needs to question that, like, I don't know what to say. Just look at it's you can't change it. It's in the code. It's just not. I'm not even gonna worry about that. Read the white papers. Just read the white papers and do some more research from there. Obviously, that person probably didn't read shit. Sparks Bitcoin 21 million debates. There's no guarantee it won't change. And then quietly confirmed a devastating Bitcoin price bombshell. Stuff like that. There's not much bullishness right now. Let's go to Solana. Yeah, I wouldn't be concerned. And then same thing with Solana. Still pretty good. Oh wait, let me change something on this chart real quick that I want to share. The secondary support of this trend looks a little bit more like something like that. It still broke below it regardless. So it's not loading. It broke below the previous support. And then simple trend line. I haven't looked at this prior, so just give me time so I can make sense of it. I'm trying to make sense of it right now, so just bear with me. I haven't actually looked at this prior. So we have a 1, 2. I'm trying to see what the wave counts are. Because then if I do the major one, then extended fourth, and then fourth wave up, fourth wave, this, and then pop back. We'll probably see it come down or go up a little bit more, and then retest that for resistance. But if that's the case, it's kind of looking like a five wave move, which doesn't really make sense right now. Oh, okay. On the bigger picture, though, if we are truly on the works of going up to these levels where the fifth wave is, extended third. Oh, okay. So this is what it looks like more to me. From the fourth wave to the fifth wave. So when we get up to these levels right here of over $300 eventually, 2025, it can look a little bit more like this, where we have a 1 second extended third wave up. We're working on the fourth wave and then fifth wave into this level of here. I'm not going to move this. It's going to take a second. So this is where the level's at. So with that indication, okay, so then we have a second, first, second, third, quick fourth wave, and then fifth. And then that's not a very reliable fourth wave, but it works. It works. It's a little too quick in my opinion. Just like one movement down basically and then up. So we want to see a retest this, which is also overlapping with that support, which can now act as a resistance. But really with all that's going to happen super quick. It's not something to put too much of your energy into. But what I want to see is either a overshooting B wave slightly, so A, B, C, finishing it back down below this level down here, currently right here, unless it pushes down a little bit more. If this pushes down below this line once again, then simply this would just be moved down. But as of right now, we're probably going to see, because this is a completed third wave, fourth waves, overextended fourth waves with an overall 3-wave pattern, rather being an A, B, C, or an W, X, Y pattern. Regardless, we should see a pump, eventually pump here, and then that's fine, and then break past this area, break past the 0.35, anywhere there. That's a WXY pattern coming back down below 200. If not, right, we go up higher and then retest this, depending what volume looks like, and at that point I'll give you guys an update once we have those numbers. Then that's the overshooting B wave, and you can look for potentially breaking back down below this to complete that fourth wave, final fourth wave, and then come back down. So short-term bullish, and then we just got to give it time to get more numbers, but this is definitely far down enough, completing support right here as well. A mix in that area. Yeah, and then from here we can see it go up, flirt with this before even coming down. So short-term bullish. I'm not too worried about it though. We'll go back on that next week. But pretty good time to go long on it though. It should be easy. And then MSTR. Second within. I haven't updated this in a while, so third wave is up here. Overshooting third wave. Okay, and then getting the fourth wave, because our true fifth wave is going to be much higher. I'll give you guys a true fifth wave in the future, but it should be over $1,000, easily over $1,000 in 2025. In my opinion, over $1,000 2025. But this makes more sense because now we're getting this extended WXY pattern on MSTR, which can end at any moment. Reason being is start of the third wave. Oh, wrong tool. Sorry. That's all right. Yeah, right here, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave up. This will be the more aggressive shoot down. That's way too aggressive. This is like super bearish. If only it was a B wave a little higher, it would make more sense. But imbalance here was never filled. So hold on, guys. I haven't looked at this either. So we can see the price continue. We have a magnet there. Imbalance acting as a magnet. And that's going to be our first true end wave for the fourth. So fourth wave can truly end in here. We can still see a little bit more downward pressure, and then before we move higher on the fifth wave. Short-term bearish on MicroStrategy. Yeah, short-term bearish. And then if you guys just hold on, I'm going to end it with Mara. Yeah, I haven't looked at charts in a while, guys. Let's see. Completed that. Are we trying to look for a fourth wave? No, we completed. That's a weak. That's super weak, but it's still valid. And then fourth wave as well. So if we're truly on a fourth wave, what does that mean? Does this make sense? Does this... It's a little weak. I'm gonna make it orange. It's a little weak. Does this make sense? Third wave is super shallow though. Super shallow compared to this high right here. It didn't really fill in much of this, although it's just tools, indicators. It's not required to. It's trying to respect the moving average. RSI is still looking a little leaning like it wants to go lower. All right, so yeah, my opinion on this one is it's still trying to create imbalance, not done yet. Really weak low volume candle, trying to reverse the volume. 20.22. Okay. Oh wait, the momentum though. Okay, so it's trying to fill this in, and then we had the just wicks. Okay. So here's my opinion on Mara, right? Just because of this weak volume candle, RSI still wants to go lower, and we're still in an overall downtrend. Well, not just that. This downtrend, just using the body of the candles, for the most part at least, broke below it. I want to see this fill in this orange area more. Where it's probably going to do more like this, where we had price trend below the moving average quite a bit before it eventually pops it back over. So we want to see a break below the moving average, consolidate while the RSI is at the 30, around the 30, and then from there we can start seeing a reverse higher, because the primary thing really with Mara is we want to see Q4 2024 earnings reported in Q1 of 2025, and that is what's really gonna help determine where the true value areas should be. So if things go as sort of like, history, and just, expecting like institutions and Wall Street to value these assets, basically we're gonna see, in my opinion, this consolidate around this area for a while. Consolidate, not make a new high. I don't think Mara is going to make a new high from this structure right here. This structure. Until, or not until, but depending what the Q4 earnings look like in Q1. So we're going to see the price, in my opinion, consolidate. Even if Bitcoin pops higher and goes to like 110,000 or over 110, I don't believe Mara will go into this blue area anytime soon. I believe it's gonna be suppressed until, depending what those Q4 earnings look like, that will be reported in a couple months. So I want to see this price come down. If for short-term trading, because this is the case now with the interest rate fear for 2025, which is just word. It hasn't happened yet, but 2025, less interest rate cuts fear with such a leveraged company. Well, much less leveraged than a lot of other mining companies. They're extremely much more healthy. And they also added more Bitcoin to their balance sheet recently. But I want to see this come down a little bit more. Short-term bearish Mara. So short, I'm less bearish on MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is amazing. If for people that want to accumulate, hold on to it. If you're willing to accumulate, hold on to it till New Year's, and then continue to accumulate. If we do see that massive dip in January, it would just be great, you know, in case we see a rally. But if you can accumulate enough where you're okay with holding it throughout the entire January in case we see that massive dip happen, and of course, remember these dips, just like in previous, are super aggressive but recover very, very aggressively and quickly afterwards. So that's just my opinion, guys. Bitcoin, we can still see the price come down a little bit more. Although I'm buying, as you guys, I never showed you guys actually. I'm gonna say this because it's gonna be hard to show you. I'm not gonna take a screenshot or anything. I'll show you guys an actual screenshot during a portfolio update video. But on my new Bitcoin core position, which I'm using BITU for instead of the spot Bitcoin itself, I have 807 shares, or 800.042 shares, basically 807 shares at an average price of 59.76. Okay, that's good. That's so far. That's my new Bitcoin core position. I want to see this. If it can stay low as long as possible, that'll be great. Like if we can stay low until tomorrow, I should have more funds available in the account for tomorrow. Continue to accumulate more. I want to have before New Year's. I mean, regardless that I'm expecting a big dip in January, regardless, if I can have at least 1,000 shares by New Year's, that'll be great, and that's my intention. Little bit short term, but I don't really care. I'm buying, accumulating. I'm very, very bullish on Bitcoin. MicroStrategy still a little short term bearish, although we're gonna see quick fluctuations. I wouldn't let those worry you. Like if tomorrow market opens, it comes up, tries to fill in, and then it will get rejected around like 22.6 or something like that. Oh wait, this is tomorrow. Sorry. Yeah, I'm short term bearish on this too. And we can easily see throughout the future this come down below 20 easily, maybe flirt around 16. 16 might be a good buying opportunity because I am assuming this is all going to get just obliterated soon enough. We can see a quick recovery before coming down lower, so just always keep an eye on the bigger picture. And I could be wrong, but always keep an eye on the bigger picture, because if you're too focused on the short term, you see the price go up like crazy. Smaller picture, then who knows, you're probably going to buy at the top of a little corrective wave before it comes down lower. MicroStrategy, this is a strong magnet in my opinion. It was never filled previously. Now we're retesting that support right here, but I'm assuming we're going to continue to see this fall a little bit more and potentially even see it break slightly below it as well. But it's a good accumulation area. Regardless, short-term bearish MicroStrategy. I need to add Solana to my little list there. I'll do it later. Same thing with Solana. I'm just being cautious with it. Really great time to accumulate. If you're looking to hold on to Solana throughout 2025, of course, great time to accumulate, because I believe it's going to easily be over $300. Easily over $300 in 2025, and now we're below 200, 105 or 195. So like, but I do believe it is providing a good short-term trade opportunity to start selling throughout these levels right here before it could potentially come down lower. Very short-term bullish, and then like medium-term not too bullish. And then more long-term, like towards the end of 2025, yeah. But yeah, no, Solana's looking really, really good, like real short-term. And then we'll see a reject, and it'll come down once again. So I wouldn't be overly bullish, but I'll be very cautious right now. And then if you want to trade it up, like to like roughly 105 to be conservative, like that seems like a really good idea. Who knows, right? Who knows? So yeah, that's just my opinion, guys. The new core position for Bitcoin, I'll give you guys a more detailed look into that soon. And then yeah, Bitcoin is just amazing. Macroeconomic news in the U.S. causing this crypto to fall so aggressively. It's just ridiculous for people that think it is it's the end. If you think it's the end, yeah, sure, sell it. Maybe the price, keep selling on your Bitcoin. The price will come down lower, and myself and a few other people that I know will be taking it. So yeah, please sell your Bitcoin so then I can buy it. Yeah, that's my opinion. I'll catch you guys soon on the next video. Hopefully, that won't take too long. It's just I'm always out. I'm always enjoying myself going out. I'm not really, But when I do go back home soon, by the end of January, I will be very much making content a lot more frequently and doing live streams and actually being more active on the platforms here on Discord and YouTube. So yeah, I'll catch you guys soon and take care.